Alright guys, and welcome back to the Saints VD channel for something content for our match preview ahead of our trip to the Black Country as we head to Molineaux to face Wolverhampton Wanderers in our first game back from the international break. Saints need to start picking up some more points because it was a really poor couple of weeks before the international break, and so this could be the opportunity to get something back on the board. But before we get into the video, do make sure you are subscribed if you haven't yet already. We're getting very close to 2,000 subscribers, so we'd love to get there within the next couple of weeks. We'll also be getting insight from Talking Wolves on all things Wolverhampton Wanderers, so stay tuned for later in the video to get insight from them. But let's get into the video. Now, as I just mentioned, the last couple of weeks for Southampton have been pretty poor to say the least. 3 consecutive defeats in the league, really not ideal. I know we had the win in the cup, in the derby, sort of in between that, but when you look at the league form, we just haven't been good enough. We came back from the last international break with a win against Sheffield United and then losing to Bournemouth, Spurs and Chelsea. Just really poor. I think the Spurs performance was okay, it was just we didn't really create enough and we should have gotten something from that game, but the 2 home games against Bournemouth and Chelsea, we were just nowhere near our opposition. Meaning that I think the international break was needed, so it gives us an opportunity to rally the troops again and buck up our ideas, because at the moment it's looking like we're going to start drifting towards the relegation zone. We're going to start drifting to being the team that we've been the last 2 seasons, like I said in where I was talking about what has gone wrong so far for us. If you haven't checked it out, there might be a card up there or there somewhere, and it's true. You know, if we're not starting to pick up results, there's a possibility that we do get dragged back into that and then we become a relegation fodder side again. And we said at the beginning of the season that's really not what we want to be doing. And in fairness, overall the away performances have actually been quite good, miles better than the home performances so far this season, which gives us a bit of optimism going into this one. We'll talk about Wolves later on in the video, but that Chelsea defeat before the international break was just abysmal. The manner of the performance was awful. I don't mind losing to a top 6 side, but it was almost as if there was no ambition, there was no fight to get something from the game. The team selection was wrong as well, substitutions, all these things that we just didn't do right, and we just shot ourselves in the foot. And at the moment we're sat in 17th with 7 points from 8 games. It's far from ideal, but I think a result on Saturday would get some of the fans back on side, as it'll be something. We just need to stop this rut of losing, I think. And it's one of the few games so far that we're going to play that's not against the top 6. Half of games so far this season have been against the top 6, which, you know, has been difficult to deal with. And so now hopefully we can start picking up a couple of results here and there throughout the next couple of months, where we're actually playing a team a lot nearer to us come the end of the season. And as I just said, I think even a point would be welcome. Just end the rut of losing games. We don't want to be that team that has the habit of losing games. We want to pick up the winning habit, and it looked like we were doing that towards the beginning of the season in the first handful of games. You know, beating Brighton, winning in the cup, getting a point against Man United, then beating Sheffield United, winning in the cup against Skates. You know, that we were picking up a winning mentality. We've only drawn 1 game so far this season, but we need to start picking up points, because now we're getting to the point of this season where actually we've got easier fixtures on paper, where the sides that we're playing aren't going to be near the top 6. You know, they're going to be close to us. No disrespect to Wolves, but I don't think they will be in the top half like they were last season. I think European schedule might affect their form a little bit, and I'd like to see them do well in Europe. I think they might have to sacrifice the league form. Still finish well, like top 12 probably, but yeah, I don't think it's going to be as good a season for Wolves. But let's talk about them, because obviously they're our next opponents. We haven't got the best record against Wolves. We haven't really got the best record at Molineaux. The last game we played there was obviously last season, a 2-0 defeat. Mark Hughes masterclass that. But the last time we played them was back in April at St Mary's, and we were pretty dominant on the day, winning 3-1. Nathan Redmond bagging a brace, and that was the sort of football we wanted to see for the end of the season. And after that it sort of stagnated. We haven't actually won a game at St Mary's since that Wolves game, so a performance similar to that would be very welcome on Saturday. And overall our form hasn't been great. The last 5 games we've lost the majority of them. I remember losing in the cup at St Mary's to them when the year they got promoted, so they were still a championship side, and it was their reserves who played us back in the championship about 10 years ago now, 11 years ago. We lost both games against them in our relegation season. So, you know, a win against Wolves is quite a rare thing. And of course we know how good their team can be. At the start of the season they weren't looking great, but they've started to pick up some results, and last time out they picked up a monumental result against Manchester City away from home, winning 2-0, and you know that might affect their performance in a bad way for us on Saturday, so let's hope not. But yeah, they're looking a lot better. Got a really good win in Europe as well against Besiktas. Obviously now they're juggling European commitments and the league. We knew all about that a couple of seasons ago when we were in the group stages. Unfortunately we didn't get through, and you know, a Saturday 3 o'clock kickoff might actually be a strange thing for Wolves this season, a bit of a rarity. They've got a European game afterwards, so will that game out in Slovenia affect the team that plays on Saturday? Obviously, I'm not a Wolves expert, so I got insight from Finn from Talking Wolves. He's also a vlogger. I'll put his links in the description below, but Finn, take it away.
Hello everyone, Finn here, Wolves fan, giving you a Wolves flavour, Wolves perspective on things ahead of the game this weekend. Now for Wolves, this season's been strange, definitely new. It's new, that's sort of the word that I'd use. Obviously, Europa League is new ground for us Wolves fans, especially me. It's just unbelievable that we're in the Europa League. Obviously, there's been positives and negatives that have come with that, and a very, very slow start to the season was one of those negatives. Didn't pick up a win for a long, long time if you didn't count the qualifiers in the Europa League. Obviously, we smashed all of those, but we were playing in Ireland, Armenia, and then Torino, to be fair, hard team to beat. But yeah, playing against Farmers in the first few rounds, so we don't really count them. But yeah, it's been a really strange start. There's good results in there. Obviously, VAR first day of the season. Wolves fans basically set the precedent for hating VAR this season for Wolves fans. Scored a completely legitimate goal. You beat Leicester first day, draw against Man United. That's now not looking like a great result, is it? But at the time, we thought that was good. We eventually got our first win against Watford. I think most people are winning against Watford, so it's not too much to shout about. We then build on that with a win against Besiktas. Unbelievable last-minute smash and grab against Besiktas. And then, of course, the result against Man City last weekend. So it's been a mixed bag, but the last few sweets we've pulled out of that bag have been pretty positive. Quite nice sweets. That's the strangest metaphor I've used in a long time. But yeah, 3 wins in a row. It's looking good now. Those sort of bad games, it's all behind us. I mean, you're hearing murmurs of should Nuno go? It's just unbelievable. But now, yeah, we're back on track. Back to the Wolves of last season in that Man City game. Anyway, it's been a strange start. I think we're finally getting used to it now. We've got great backroom staff. I mean, we've had, 4 injuries in 3 years since Nuno and his backroom staff have been in. It's unbelievable. But yes, we're slowly getting used to it now. As a result of that rotation this weekend, we are at Slovan Bratislava in the week. Obviously, 12 Wolves fans are going to be, and 18,000 of those as a result of them being racist. But hey-ho, that's another debate as well. Obviously meant to be behind closed doors. Turns out they're going to have 18,000. We've been given 200 tickets. It's unbelievable, but we won't get started on that. There could be rotation. We've definitely found a lot more rotation this year. Nuno basically played the same squad every week last year, same 11. And we are mixing it up now. We have wing-backs that vary between Doherty and Traore one side, Johnny and Vinagre on the other. A few more defenders in now. Jesus Vallejo's joined. Max Kilman's been promoted from the under-23s. Could see one of those two coming in maybe, but at the moment, the solid back 3 is Bolly, Cody, Sace. That's probably the one to look out for. All great ball players, all solid. So, yeah, I don't see us rotating that much, to be honest. It's a Premier League game. We need to prioritise that. And is Jota going to be back? I'd love to see Jota back. The only places we could be weaker are... I think Sace was possibly injured with Morocco. Dendoncker was ill and didn't go to Belgium. Hopefully he's all right for now. Jota's touch and go. But apart from that, it's looking like a full strength squad. That's the one. And I could see us resting a few in the week, to be honest, instead of the Southampton game. Sorry to inform you of that. You've also asked about Southampton. How have I seen Southampton as an outsider? To be honest, I've always, I was shocked when I just looked at the table and saw you guys are one place above the relegation zone. I just like you, and I thought you'd been quite good. I've had Che Adams. I mean, I binned him off a week or two ago, but I had Che Adams in from the first week of FPL. But I sort of backed you. It turns out Danny Ings has done much better, but from the outside, I just always think, oh yeah, Southampton are doing well. It turns out you guys aren't as much at the moment. I mean, you're only 3 points below us, so I can't talk. Obviously, you win at the weekend, and we're level on points. Danny Ings, as I said, seems to be outscoring Che Adams. I'm interested to see Musa Gineppo. I've only seen him on highlights, and if you watch him just match the day highlights, he's looked like Ronaldo so far. So I'm excited to see if he blows hot and cold, often like those sorts of players do. But yeah, I'm probably not the best person to ask about that. But on the outside, I was shocked. I like Hasanutel. You were great against us in the away game last season, not so great under Mark Hughes, obviously, and then Hasanutel came in and you'd smashed us 3-1. So yeah, I was surprised to see where you're on the table. I probably should pay a bit more attention. And for the last question, you said who to watch. From a Wolves perspective anyway, I'd have said Jota was, after Christmas last season, every week, if anyone said who to watch for Wolves, it's Jota. Hasn't been informed, that hadn't scored, I don't think, in the Premier League until the last game that he played, Crystal Palace away. And then he got injured straight after. So it was almost like, oh, he needs a goal. He's got a goal. He's going to kick on now. Turns out he was injured then. So it's been a little bit stop-start for him. So as a result of that, my play to watch is going to be, and I didn't think I'd be saying this last season, Adama Traore, fresh off that Man City brace, is in form on FIFA, and he's just an athlete. He's unbelievable. Of course, he'd still be at Barcelona or he'd be at Real Madrid if he could provide something consistently at the end. And he is beginning to do that this season. I think someone could poach him off us soon. His pace, his strength is unbelievable. No one so far has been able to manage him. And I don't think any left backs come out on less than a yellow card so far against him. Whether he's playing wing back, right wing, striker, he's been a threat. Nuno's obviously worked with him over the summer to work on that end product. He's now not crossing it into the stands. It's concentrated. He's taking moments to sort of think, where am I actually going to kick this? Instead of going on mental runs and then hitting someone in the crowd. So he's the man to watch. He's really improved this year. He's Wolves player of the season so far. I think that's pretty unanimous, along with Patricio. Patricio's been great this season as well. So don't expect to be scoring easily. Patricio's on fire, and we can hit you on the counter. We probably won't hit you on the counter at home, but yeah, Traore, you never know what's going to happen. But thank you very much for you guys for having me on the channel. Best of bad luck this weekend, and yeah, see you soon.
Thanks, mate. I'll make sure to leave his links in the description below. Of course, like we heard there, Wolves have got a series of very good players. Jimenez up front, Bolly at the back, Molineaux in midfield. It's going to be a hard game, but it's one where I feel like we can get something from it, and I think we have to go there with that mentality. You know, we beat Sheffield United away when they were, you know, in good form. Even Brighton had started brightly when we went to their place. So I do back us. I know fans are getting all wound up about how we're going to be losing our games and it's going to be relegation. You know, just ignore them. Just block out the noise. And I think it's going to be 1-1 on Saturday. It's going to be a tight game. I can see us winning it. Of course, I can see us losing it. Let's hope that that Man City result doesn't give Wolves the boost that they need to keep climbing up the table. You know, it will be a tricky game, but like I said, I'm going to go 1-1, and I'm going to say that Danny Ings is going to continue his great goal scoring run that he's on at the moment. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching the video. Make sure you like it if you have enjoyed. Follow us on all of our socials if you haven't yet already, and make sure you are subscribed. Like I said, we're aiming for 2,000 subscribers, and we'll see you tomorrow for our predicted lineup. See you then.